Good morning, RhinoCats, and welcome back to Geometry Wednesday. It's that time of the week where we study shapes. And last week we went on a really fun geometry scavenger hunt where we looked for two-dimensional, excuse me, and three-dimensional shapes in and around our house. So I love checking in with you about that scavenger hunt and the different everyday objects that you found around your house that were shapes. And this week, we are going to continue that theme of exploring geometry in our everyday life. And we are going to be doing a challenge on IXL where we identify shapes in everyday objects. So we want to be able to identify the name of different two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes we see just every day, what we come across in our house, outside of our house, at school, at work. So today we are going to go through a few IXL examples, but first I wanted to review your three-dimensional shapes because those are the shapes we're going to see the most of in your assignment today. Just as a reminder, our two-dimensional shapes are those flat shapes like circles, triangles, squares. And our three-dimensional shapes are shapes that have a depth to them, so you can see through them or around them. So I just wanted to review a couple that we would come across in our assignments today. So first one here is our sphere, and a sphere is round. It's the shape of a ball, like a basketball or a tennis ball or a soccer ball. And a cone is our next shape. A cone is going to be flat on the bottom. It's going to be round on the sides and come into a point at the top. And so we can see cones in ice cream cones, safety cones. Next is a rectangular prism. And we can see rectangular prisms in bricks and like rectangular tissue boxes. Our mattresses are rectangular prisms. Cube, kind of similar to a rectangular prism in that it has 6 sides. However, we know that a cube has equal sides. So kind of similar to a square, except for obviously a cube has depth. So our cube looks like dice, like our cube-like tissue boxes at home. Looks like an ice cube. And then finally, our cylinder, the fifth shape that you are going to come across in your work today. It is round and it has 2 flat sides, both at the bottom and top. And a cylinder looks like our cans like our canned food that we buy at the grocery store, or like canned soda that we drink out of. So a few examples here of some 3D shapes you may come across today in your work. So now I want to dive into some IXL examples and then have you guys try out identifying shapes in everyday objects on IXL yourself, just following the link next to your initials in the description box below. So the first example we're going to look at says, which is shaped like a rectangular prism? So those are the questions you're going to come across today. It's going to ask you which of these objects below is shaped like this specific 3D shape. So here we're looking for a rectangular prism. I see here a cake. A cake is, it's got round edges, 2 flat sides at the bottom and the top. So that's going to be a cylinder, not a rectangular prism. Same with our our candle here, excuse me. It's also going to be shaped like a cylinder because it's going to be round and flat on the top and bottom. This ice chest looks like a rectangular prism. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, like a rectangular prism. And a couple of those sides are longer than the others. So I would say this ice chest is probably going to be our rectangular prism. If we look over at our last option, this is an ice cream cone. Remember, a cone is pointed at the bottom, and it has round sides and then a flat top. So our ice chest is definitely going to be our rectangular prism here. So you would click on the ice chest. For number 2, this says which is shaped like a cube, and our options are the safety cone, a basketball, a Coke, and then a package. So I know that a safety cone is shaped like a cone, flat on the bottom or on the top, depending on how you're holding it, round on the sides, and then comes into a point. Our basketball is definitely a sphere. It's round on every side or angle that you look at it. Our Coke can is shaped like a cylinder because it is round on the sides, but has those 2 flat sides on the bottom and top. And then finally, our package is going to be our cube here. It's got those 6 sides, 6 flat sides that are all equal. So they're the same length on every side. So you'd click on this package here. All right, guys, once again, your challenge is just to identify shapes in everyday objects on IXL. You're going to be encountering a lot of 3-dimensional objects. So remember your 3D shapes: sphere, cone, rectangular prism, cube, and cylinder. Good luck, guys.